Welcome back once again, friends. In the last few videos, we have been building this program called the Prof's Grumpy Assistant. Now, I think this has been a great journey into the learning of Python because through this program, we have learned a lot of things. For example, we have learned about the if-else statement. We have learned about the if-elif-else statement. We have also learned a lot of string methods, which could be quite useful. And we have also learned about how important indentation is in a Python program and how we have to be always careful about using the right kind of indentation so that the program does the what we want it to do. Now in this video, I'm going to conclude this activity. So the prof's assistant has been asking us questions. Now it's time for him to give us an appointment, and we are going to use an if-elif else statement for the appointment, right? So let's see how this works. Should be quite straightforward, I would think. But anyway, right? First thing first, notice that the appointment has to be, after this n number of questions, I must say the assistant gives me an appointment. Now I must make sure that I'm indenting it correctly. So I come back to the base indentation and I say appointment here. For example, I just put a comment and I put a a statement here. Let's say print. Right now, this print obviously will just give me an empty line. But notice I have now made sure that I am at the level where say this print was, right. So I'm indented correctly. Because if I did not, then this print will basically become part of some loop and it will be pretty confusing, right? So now having done this, so I come in here and I say, okay, look, okay, so pick up a slot. Let's also pick up uh, time next Monday to meet the prof. Let's say, right, to meet the prof. Uh, Now, okay, to be a little bit careful here. So I come in here now. Let's say this assistant gives us a few options. So I'm going to use a basic print statement with some escape characters which we've learned before to make this happen. So I say, for example, 8 minutes past say midnight. Now again, these are just some funny options that I've come up with. Next option B, I say, say for example, I say 16 minutes uh, before say sunrise, and between these two I'm going to use a sep of say two tabs. Right now, why two tabs? Because I think that look nice. Now remember, sep alone will become the character that gets printed between these two, but since here I'm using an escape character, I'm using a tab, it's going to create two tabs between these two. Now with this done, I'm going to just copy this entire line and paste it. So paste it over here. So that gets me to option C and option D. So if I do this, say option C, say it says 24 minutes past noon, let's say noon, and here I say, well, 48 minutes after sunset, right? I mean, again, this is just some funny options, but I must make this into D. And here, let's say I say 24 minutes, let's say before noon, and now I say 48 minutes, say after sunset, after sunset. And again, I give separation of two backslash t's, and now I print an extra line here, let's say, just for me to say, and then I get the appointment through an input statement. So I say appointment equals to say input, uh, and I say please select your slot. So select your slot, and I say okay, A, B, C, or say D, right? And I, like before, I'll give a backslash in here, right, so that I get an extra line here to answer. Now if I run this code, see what happens. So first it says answer me a word, so I say verbs. Eight letter words, so let's say this time I say rotation. um, so it says you're wasting my time, you gave me more than three vowels, blah blah blah. uh, it says, okay, tell me a sentence ending in wise assistant, no questions please. So I say, for example, you are a wise assistant. I give a full stop and I say enter. It said the sentence looked okay, but wait, the first word was too short. Now it says, okay, now pick up a time next Monday to meet the prof. Uh, so I say, okay, 8 minutes past midnight, 16 minutes before sunrise, 24 minutes before noon, 48 minutes after sunset. Now, the thing I want you to notice is how nicely these things appeared because of the two tabs, right? So it kind of looks very nicely arranged because of these two tabs of separations, right? Between this and this, I got two tabs in between, right? And now I can select a slot. Say, for example, I select A and whatever, right? So now we're going to write a little bit more code, but before I go there, I'm going to fix this problem here, little English thing that the letter of the day of the week should start from a capital letter. All right. Now let's say, depending on the input that I've chosen, which is A, B, or C, or D, our our assistant wants to tell us a message. So this is again a situation where we have a if condition across multiple conditions, right? I mean if statement across multiple conditions, in which case we are going to use an if-elif statement, right? So I'm going to say if-elif-else. So I'm going to write a code if appointment equals to say A, then I can give a colon, and I can say print, for example, say careful, because this is like 8 minutes past midnight, so probably the prof will be sleepy. I said careful, prof. So I said prof may be asleep. All right. Next, I go and say elif. If say I chose the appointment equals to say B, then I'm going to say, hey, look, you know, I'm going to say so maybe here I'll say warning, prof may be jogging, because that's sort of 16 minutes before sunrise. Probably maybe prof is taking his morning walk or something like that. So I say warning, prof may be say jogging. Now again, you can be very creative here, but I'm just giving you some ideas here, right? So elif again, appointment, let's say appointment say is equal to C, and again I must indent this code, and I must go and put this Control C and say Control V. And maybe I can say prof may be hungry, because this is 24 minutes before noon, just before lunchtime. So beware, prof may be say hungry, right? Maybe craving for his lunch or something, right? And finally, I can have an else statement, because that's the only options that I had. So else must be D, and I can just write after an indentation. I can say print, say for instance caution, uh, caution. Say for example, prof may be tired, right? So prof may be tired, right? And I think that's it, because it kind of covers all the options that I had. So I had given four options for input. 48 minutes after sunset. Yes, probably prof may be tired after the day of work. I have seems to have made a mistake. I've forgotten a colon here, and I must fix that, right? One thing I must point out is that, remember that input function gives us a string, and that's why when I'm comparing, I cannot leave these two. It'll be a syntax error, because it will not know what A means, right? So I must do, for example, A in a single or double quotes, right? So this will work. And I think with it, I'm just going to kind of finish this here. I just say one more line. Once again, I go back to the normal indentation, like base indentation, and I just say print, say for example, print, say good luck for your appointment, right? Appointment, and bye for now. Bye for now. So let's just see this working, and let's see what goes on here, right? So I come in here, since the program is almost ready now. In fact, program is completely ready. So I come in here and I say, okay, tell me what action words are called. So I say verbs. Give me an 8-letter word. Let's say I say stoppers, OPPERS, right? Okay, you gave me less than 3 vowels. Later on, we'll remove these things, so that's okay. Uh, Next, I'm going to say, tell me a sentence ending in wise assistant. So let's say I say, today I am talking to a wise assistant, right? And I give this full stop. But I think I added an extra space. That's why I said Prof will make me really furious. Now it says pick up an appointment. Say I pick up B. Now B, I'm expecting it to say warning, Prof may be jogging. And let's see if it does that, right? And says indeed, Prof may be jogging. Good luck for your appointment. Bye for now, right? So with this, we are done with this program. In fact, let's just revise what we did. And for that purpose, again, I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to say change the layout to side by side, and also I'm going to reduce the font, so that we can cover a lot more ground in a limited space, right? So basically, this was a kind of a practice for several things, like if then else, um, string methods, and indentation. So we started with a simple, let's say question, and we answered. We decided right or wrong answer with the if-else condition, but we use this answer.lower method, which allows us to do a meaningful comparison by converting whatever answer comes into lowercase. Next, we use the length method to. We had the next question, which is give me 8-letter word. So with 3 vowels, so we had to determine the length as well as the number of vowels in this word, right? So I basically use the length function, and then we created a bunch of variables, count A, E, I, O, U, And with that, we created, let's say, how many vowels there are. So I'm going to remove these prints now because they are serve their purpose. And then we put up this if, elif, else condition to say, okay, if I have three vowels, less than three vowels or more than three vowels, right? Again, indentation is very important. So, I have to make sure that these things are indented nicely. Next, I asked a question, okay, tell me a sentence ending in voice assistant. And again, I came up with a bunch of conditions where, whether I was ending with a punctuation, without a punctuation, or let's say something totally different. If I was indeed ending with a punctuation, I use the find method to figure out how long my first word is, and there we use this, let's say this condition that if it's too small, then prof and assistant always gets angry, right? Remember, prof assistant is very hard to please. That's just the nature of it, right? Thereafter, I use an if elif elf condition to get myself an appointment and get a sort of dialogue from the prof assistant. And with that, the activity is complete. I hope you have learned a good deal in this, and I hope you'll find these videos useful. I hope you'll find the activity also enjoyable. There's a lot of scope, as you can imagine, to improve this, to build on top of this. But remember, bonus always comes after basics. So get the basics in place first. In this case, they are the if else condition, the if elif else. They are for example, the indentations, all the string methods that we looked at. And thereafter, this is an open playing field. You can really go and showcase your creativity over here, right? All right, then, take care so much. Take care of yourself, and thank you so much. Enjoy programming, enjoy Python, enjoy Scratch. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.